Thief Simulator was an enjoyable, fun game. I got into it. It was really good. And the other one they made with the 80s theft one afterwards was also good. Now with Thief Simulator 2 coming out in a couple of months, they've just released Thief Simulator Prologue. This gives you an idea of what features are in the game, what it's like, what the gameplay's like. We're going to talk about it. I'm GreenLycan, and this is Thief Simulator 2 Prologue. So Thief Simulator 2 is a game where you take up the role of a thief, and you have to essentially pay back someone for some reason story. So pretty much, when you play through Thief Simulator, you start off as like a beginner crook. You have to pretty much go through the stages of breaking into properties. You have to mark residents in order to see what their routines are, and then you have to move on through the game, upgrading your skills, upgrading your equipment, and gradually move on to much bigger, better properties. So what do you start with? Well, you start with a really crappy car, to be honest. This is used to store your things. If you steal things from a property, you can place them into a box within your car. You can also put larger things like TVs and other stuff like that into the boot of the car, trunk, whatever you want to call it. And you can also sleep in your car at parking lots like this overnight, so that you can advance time to whenever you need it to be able to break into a property. So you have various skills that you can learn throughout the game. You start off with marking, you move on to things like lock picking. You have to have different lockpick skills for different types of locks that you need to pick. Hacking, which is something that you normally would use to unlock phones or laptops that you've stolen in order to sell them off and make money from them. Generally speaking, there's climbing skills to climb over fences and various other skills that you'll get throughout the game. You also have a property which you own in this game, which is your base. Your base can be used to store your equipment if you don't need to use it actively, and also practice the skills that you've learned throughout the game. Like lockpicking, there's extra locks and things that you can use to practice lockpicking. You have a storage area. You have a jewelry station to take jewelry apart so you can sell the diamonds and gems within them. You have a safe cracking area. Various different types of lockpick areas to lockpick certain things. There's glass for the glass cutter when you learn that. There's a mannequin which you can use to practice pickpocketing. Absolutely pointless kitchen that you can just open drawers on. So you have the laptop to hack electronics so that you can sell them, as I mentioned before. And you have your main computer. On your main PC, you have the website for Still Gear, which is the place where you buy all your equipment and things that you need. As you can see here, glass cutters locked, lockpick and basic lockpicking tools are locked because I haven't unlocked them yet. Rob Tips, which is a tips area, which gives you tips on how to get into certain properties, which you have to pay for to be able to get them. Black Bait is an area where you can sell things that you've got, not just selling them to the pawn shop, but you can actually go there and fulfill specific requirements for specific items. This is pretty good in the way that you can actually sell certain things for more money, which is always useful. You have Hell Neighbor, which is basically Hell Neighbor's contracts to destroy things in certain houses. Not sure why that's the thing. You have Drone Tech, which, well, I know that there are drones in this game that give you the ability to check areas much better than just looking from the outside. I'm assuming Drone Tech's to do with that, though I haven't got to that yet, and I'm not even sure if that's in this prologue. I haven't completed the prologue yet. So as I said, you start from the start of the game, you move through, get into better properties with better security. There'll be properties with alarms that you'll have to circumvent by either turning off the power or figuring out a way to get past them. There'll be alarms on windows later on, when at the start there are not. You'll get to the point where there'll be things just like fences and cameras and things that stop you getting into the property easily. You won't be able to lockpick them easy, so you'll have to figure out ways around them. As also in the first game was some properties where people never left their property. They just stayed there all the time, or there at least one person stayed there all the time. If you come across those ones, you have to sneak around the house without the people finding you. In my experience from this game, the police in the first one kind of just ran around the area like a complete psychopath, basically just sprinting around like crazy, and then went away. It does seem like the police in this game are programmed better, the AI is better, in the way that they actually seem to search the property. I haven't seen them personally. I did one part of it where I hid under a bed for a while, didn't see any police come in, but the minimap showed that they were looking around. So I'm hoping that it's a little bit better with the AI. Overall, the game is definitely better. From just the prologue, it's definitely better than the first game. I'm definitely looking forward to the next one coming out. It's going to be out in a couple of months. It looks like a really good game from what I'm seeing, from what they're saying, and from what the developer's been saying about crafting new buildings and things and creating larger areas. It does seem like it's going to be much better than the first one. From what it seems, it's one person working on a lot of this, so, you know, he's pretty much working on the game all the time and has been building it for a while. Hopefully it won't take too much longer, there won't be any delays on it, it will come out. And contrary to what other people might think with other games that have been out more recently, this is a game from a developer that works on the game primarily by himself, and it doesn't have bugs and issues in it because he puts a lot of attention into what he's doing and make sure he doesn't mess up. So I highly doubt there's going to be any kind of a situation like things like Redfall, what's happened more recently. This is going to be much better, but much better produced and better made. You just have to keep in mind that it is namely one person primarily, so I would highly recommend going onto Steam and downloading the prologue. The prologue's completely free, you don't have to buy it, and give it a go yourself and see what you think about it. It is a fun game, I do enjoy it, and I can't wait for the full game to come out, as I keep saying, because I really want to play this game. But thank you for watching. I want to hear your thoughts on it, what you think of the game. Footage might not be that great from my side of things. I've been called out recently on my footage being of lower frame rates than it probably should be, but I'm still getting used to doing this. So I've just switched from OBS Studio to XSplit. I'm still getting used to it. So my last video I released, it was like 24 frames per second. Wasn't too great. Camera quality wasn't set up properly either. Now I've fixed that, so hopefully it'll be much better quality for you. But I want to hear your thoughts on the game. Have you been waiting for it for a while? Have you known the game's been coming out for a while? Have you even heard of it? Have you heard of the first one? If you haven't, give the first one a go. It's definitely worth it. I can't wait to play this next game. I'm waiting for it. I'll definitely be doing a review on it when it fully releases in a couple of months' time. So if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.